100,000 on a beat.
All right, welcome into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. Coach, big 61-13 win in the third round of the playoffs over Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I think we came out firing on all cylinders, from the defense to the offense to the special teams. We were pretty sharp, and when we play like that, I feel like we can match up and play with anybody.
Yep, completely agree with that. Let's go ahead and go to the first half highlights. The Stags kick off to Myrtle Beach. Seahawks start with the ball first.
Come out here, throw an incomplete pass on first down. As we pick up here, you see second down. You see, here the field conditions. This is actually the first time Myrtle Beach has played on grass the entire season. I think you saw that a couple times. You see right there, just not used to the footing, and the running back, kind of takes a spill there in the backfield. So come out here, next down, 3rd and 15 plus. I thought the defensive line did a really good job all night of putting the quarterback under duress. He didn't have a whole lot of time to sit back there and kind of let things develop. Come here, you can see we're going to run a little pick twist with the D lineman over here. They do a really good job of defeating this block right here as these guys try to pick up this twist. Jameer Hayward, when he gets going downhill, he's tough to stop.
Really felt like that kid probably needed an ice bath after the game. He took a lot of licks all night long.
There's a couple times we tattooed him pretty good.
Yeah.
Here, this is something that we noticed Myrtle Beach does. You can see they're running their offense off the field. They kind of wait for the play clock to run down a little bit, so it gives you a chance to not set up your punt return
game. Yeah.
So seeing that on film, we decided, hey, a lot of our guys on punt return are on the defense anyways.
Yep.
We're just going to teach a handful, hey, this is how we handle it. This is what we do. So we come out here, we just leave the defense on the field, set up our punt return, almost get there, do a pretty good job. See Cam McHugh does a good job fielding the ball. And then really this is all him. Later on we have a punt return set up really well where we've got our wall out here. This, he just kind of lets the momentum carry him. Is able to split these two defenders here. And then once that happens, he's kind of off to the races.
Yeah.
Props to Jameer here for not coming back and getting an illegal blindside block. It's been an Achilles heels of ours on our punt return. But
yeah, I don't know how many.
The game out with a 3 and out and a punt return for a touchdown is pretty good.
I don't know how many Cams returned on the season, but I think this is the first one that actually stood.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. See, there could have been a holding called on them, but either way, it worked out well for us.
So Stags with a quick 7-0 lead, defense back on the field.
Back out here, check it to you can kind of see the footing here take a toll on everybody. Their back makes a cut, we kind of go sliding by them here. We need to do a better job of attacking the inside hip and using the sideline and the corner out there as our friend, making this a buddy tackle, but we're able to get them down before they get a first down. We cause them to have a negative play on second, get them into a third medium here. They're throwing the ball again. We're able to get home again, with the defensive line. Really good job out of these guys. Here we're in odd front defense. We're only rushing 3 guys. We've got a spy on the quarterback because he does like to run draw and bring it down. You'll kind of see some of that later in the game. But really good move out of Kevin McKinley here. It's a spin move on the center, and is able to get back there for a big time sack. See
Yes.
a really good angle of it right there.
Makes it hard on the quarterback if only 3 men are rushing and 8 are in coverage.
Come out here, 2nd and 5, run a little zone read play. Henry makes a really good play to start here. Good read, good blocking out here on the perimeter. Able gets a good gain. Their outside linebacker does a really good job of getting his hand on the ball.
Yeah.
And as he's tackling Henry, kind of spins the ball out. Really good heads-up play here out of Jonathan Mitchell jumping on this thing and keeping the ball, with us.
Yeah. There's confusion on the referee's part at the end of this play. I'm not sure exactly what that was.
Yeah, originally they marked to give them the ball, which I didn't understand at all. I thought it was pretty obvious. I walked out there. I got, scolded about coming onto the field. Said, "Coach, we got it." I wasn't so sure that they had it. I had Mark and Myrtle Beach had it. But, nonetheless, we figured it out and got the ball back. Here we go. 2 plays later.
Yep.
It was something. This is like a little thing that we noticed in their coverage. We thought this was a concept we'd be able to hit. Their middle field open here. We're going to run a double move on the safety to the field for a nice little easy touchdown to Malik Cowan.
Malik had a huge night the other night. I think by far the best night a receiver's had all year for us.
Finished the game with 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving. Something that's much needed, and it's very good to see. Late here in the playoffs.
Yeah, we've been waiting on somebody to step up and kind of be that go-to guy. I think he's kind of turning it up here the last few weeks.
Here they are. They get a like an illegal shift or an offsides where they're lined up in the neutral zone on their O-line here on first down. So that gives them a 1st and 15. They're dropping back to pass. You see the quarterback kind of scramble and buy himself some yards there, but good pursuit out of us once he pulls it down and takes off the run. See here, good angle. We close on him pretty quickly as he gets moving here. Good job by Jihad Sneed.
Yeah, you mentioned the penalty. I felt like those officials thought they were getting paid by the flag the other night, especially in the first half. It's the longest first half all season by far.
Yeah, and when the other team throws a lot, it stops the clock, and then you have penalties. And it
was both ways. It was not one side.
Penalties kind of went both ways, which to me, if that's the way you call it, hey, that's the way you call it. I just sometimes get frustrated with when they only go one way, but at least they went both ways the other night.
Yep.
Here they are punting again. Got them in a big 4th and 9. Going to get the ball back here. Right here, we've got our wall set up. I think we're really close to returning this for another touchdown. If we can get outside of this guy here, as you see, our return goes here. If we get outside of that guy right there, you can see we've got guys set up out here in our return. If we get there, I think we probably score that. He almost squirts out of there again. Something you don't want to overcoach. Really talented returners, kind of give him a suggestion and let him do his thing.
Some people are good at controlled chaos, and I feel like Cam excels at that in the punt return game.
Come out here, first down after the return.
Really happy to see this for Caden.
Yeah, Caden Foxworth, I can't, understate the game that he had. I thought he saw the holes well all night, made great cuts. You see he runs through an arm tackle here by the outside linebacker.
Yep.
We got to do a little bit better of a job as a receiver here, coming up and cutting this guy off, knowing where the intention of the play is supposed to be. You see their defense start to spin down. Again, here from this safety back here, you see the turf monster get him. not used to playing in this grass. And then Caden makes a really good cut off the corner, and he does the rest.
Caden, one of the seniors that we were not 100% sure, but ended up being his last game on Moody Field, and certainly made the most out of it.
That's right. You see that really good job by the O-line up front, and then Caden does the rest.
Yep.
Good job.
So that makes it 20-0 Stags right off the rip. And now they come out with some Henry and Emery. I don't know what they call it, but you know.
You see a lot of stuff like this on extra points. We do some things like this on extra points. Luckily for us, because we do things like this, we also have rules to our defense, and hey, this is how you line up to it. So we came out, and you'll see later on, we kind of hit them with the same medicine in the second half.
Not really sure why they snapped this ball here. I'm not sure what they.
So they've done this all year, so we were kind of prepared for it. This is a formation that we saw. They actually hit us with a different formation that we didn't see. Kudos to them. But, we were able to prepare for this. We're pretty sound. We got a man for a man over here. We got guys rushing the quarterback. We've got guys covering their eligible receivers out here. We got the D-line out here with their O-line. There's not really much for them to do. You see out here, they just try to throw a quick smoke screen. Even if this ends up being completed, I think this is probably a worse play for them if they complete it because, you see the D-line kind of getting back there.
That's
it's
right.
going to be a negative play for them. Really, the incompletion was probably best case scenario. Either way, they're able to kind of put a drive together here, move the ball down a little bit, get it deep here in the red zone. You see right here, they had a tough time running the ball the whole night. Aiden President does a really good job here on their tackle, and then being really physical to the ball here as he gets there. See, he gets rid of the left tackle, and right there, he just really good play out of him.
Yeah, he had a big night.
He's put together two really good games back to back. This was a little confusing to me after seeing how we lined up. They come out here. I don't know why they thought, hey, let's do it again. They threw the screen. Here, they're out here, and I think they're trying to set up like a screen and go, which they ran against Carolina Forest earlier this year. This guy kind of runs up the seam here. I just don't understand why they thought that they would have the time to do this.
Yeah.
They've got one guy to block two, and their quarterback, he pays for it right there.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. If we've got two people lined up, the center can't block but one. If either one, I don't know why they wouldn't shift and get into a different formation, or I don't know.
Really, really bizarre.
We'll take it,
especially after you call it once. I'd probably mark that off my sheet there.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not do that again. Come out here. This is one of the more disappointing things of the night. You see 4th and a prayer. There's not much an offense has in their bag, here in 4th and a million, but to just kind of throw it up and wish it well.
Yeah.
And I just, really disappointed that we let this guy run behind us. We got guys all over there. We're all looking at each other to play the ball. When you play defensive back and the ball's in the air, it doesn't belong to anybody. At that point, it's see ball, get ball. And we got to go and do a better job of attacking it. Because if you're not, their receiver surely is.
Yep. So they were able to cut it to 20-7, still in the first quarter here with a couple of minutes to go.
Come out here, run a little RPO, get it out on the perimeter. As long as we read it right, they can't be right. Really good job blocking out here by Jonathan Mitchell and John Cleveland. you know, and then good job out of Malik Allen getting the ball and getting what he can get.
Yep.
Good read out of Henry, diagnosing it. Get down here into 3rd and 11. We come out, throw a little quick out. We noticed that they kind of come in here and cut their splits with us. We thought that we could get it out on the perimeter quick and get some easy yards. Something that we do, get it into a 4th and short. You know, we come out here, hey, put Jameer Hayward in the game. You know, pick up the 4th down and keep the ball moving.
Yep.
See the same play that we ran a couple plays ago. Just a really simple RPO. You'll see here in a minute, we kind of set them up. When you're getting antsy, trying to jump up, we have some answers for you on the back end. But you know, we'll see that in the later drives here.
Yep.
Right here, another RPO. We're going really fast. No huddle here. Just kind of lining up. You can see their defense is kind of scrambling to get lined up here. We're reading this overhang linebacker. That's the guy we can't block. He's in here a little bit too tight. We throw it out on the perimeter, block the corner, and then it's one-on-one. You know, hey, run and make that safety miss out in space. You see John Cleveland, you know, week after week, he's becoming more and more of a football player.
Absolutely. Yeah, the way they're lined up, they're almost expecting you to run to the right here. The way they've got so many linebackers and defensive backs shaded over to this side of the field.
Yeah, and just going fast, you know, kind of lends itself to defenses not being lined up right. We actually get called for a holding out here by Malik. This is something that we got to do a better job of. He's got decent position on him, and they just call like a late hook right there. It's pretty
From way back here.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak holding call, but you know, that's the game. Like I said, at least they called it both ways.
Yep.
But sets us up 1st and goal from the 20-yard line. We come out here. This is our little compliment to these corners kind of squatting down. You've seen we've run this RPO play where we're throwing the ball out here on the perimeter. We've tossed it out here on the perimeter. This corner's got his eyes in the backfield. You see him start to come up, kind of take the bait. We roll out to him, and we end up with a wide open receiver right behind him. We've got this other deeper route holding at safety. You know, we're just really trying to make it where these guys can't be right. If he dropped and he dropped, we've got this arrow by the tight end coming out here. You see it's kind of pick your poison here. We got him wide open. I thought he was able to bring this in and squeeze this, but the ground pops the ball out. Able to get it down here to the 5-yard line about 3rd and goal. Same sort of action. We've got different people going in different spots though. You see Henry gets out here on the perimeter. We got to do a better job of getting to this overhang and getting his outside shoulder, making him come in so we can make Henry more of a dual threat to run or pass. But he does a good job of just kind of making this on his own, getting out here. Now he's stressed the defense out. These guys are kind of in a bind. Hey, do I stay in coverage, right? Do I come up and help on the run? You see there one defensive lineman out here running. Henry just does a really good job of racing these guys to the sideline because they drop into coverage and we get the ball in the end zone.
So 27-7 Stags now.
Come out here on defense, you see us just continuing to pressure the quarterback. Good job on the coverage on the back end. There's really nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, and then also there's good pressure. We actually get called for a face mask on the quarterback. We'll see if we can see a better shot here from the end zone. I didn't really see this in the game, but sometimes when these quarterbacks when they dip their heads in here, yeah, you can.
It does look like his head.
Mask a little bit.
Yeah.
But sometimes that happens when guys are playing hard.
It's an effort play.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes those things happen. See, they get the ball down here a little bit. 1st and 10. I think they pick a first down up. Here they are trying to move the pocket. Really good job out of Jameer Hayward, fighting outside of this tackle and running through this. And, you see the quarterback just take a big shot there as he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
He got back up.
See how dirty he is already in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But this kid continued to go out there and play football, after taking some pretty big shots all night.
Yeah. Kept getting up.
You see here, got him in a 4th and forever. They come out here. This is kind of the other option.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that they did this in the second quarter. It's 27-7, and you're going to go for it on your side of the 50 and draw when you do it. Really kind of a surprising call.
I guess I'm not surprised they went for it. I'm surprised at the call. You're down. They haven't stopped us. They're probably not going to. They realize they're going to have to score a lot of points.
Yeah, this is probably the first time that I really felt like, okay, well, these guys feel desperate, and they don't think they have answers on defense.
That's right. Or offense, for that matter.
We come out here. We probably put together our weakest drive of the game. We go 3 and out. You see on first down, don't do a very good job of getting some movement up front. We're actually trying to read the backside end, and we end up blocking him. Just mental mistakes across the board here. We go and we're trying to kick out the end. We don't kick the end out. I don't know what we got going here. This is stuff that can't happen. This is probably, like I said, this is our worst drive of the night. Our tight end should be kicking the end out. We don't do a very good job of getting movement here. But if we kick the end, we still probably have a positive play there. But, hey, it's come out here. 3rd long. They do a good job of covering this concept here. Their safety stays back on the post. We got an arrow, and then we got a little Dover route. We got to do a better job of going through our progression here. You see their safety, he probably does a good job, but this is right here. That ball needs to get fit in right here quick to give us any sort of shot. But you see here, you start to feel some of this pressure here. Kind of runs Henry off his spot. If he can deliver the ball right there, maybe we have a chance, maybe not, but end up going out of bounds here and set up a 4th down for us to punt.
Yeah. So it gives them the ball back, and they're midfield pretty quick.
Yep. 2nd and 10 here. They try to hit us with a little hitch and go into press coverage. They call this holding or pass interference. I don't know. To me, this is textbook defensive back play right here.
Yeah.
You see the quarterback here.
Quarterback took another huge hit. Yeah.
See Landon Jackson defeat that block pretty quick and get on that quarterback real fast. Either way, call pass interference, gives them the first down, moves the ball to our side of the field. Quarterback throws it. We got to do a better job of being more opportune here. Some of these teams are getting ready to play. You give them extra life, come back to really haunt you. That's a gimme up there in the coverage. We got to do a better job catching that.
Yeah. That was a Christmas present for sure.
End up stopping them. I think they get called for a holding. backs them up. I elected to take the yards, knowing that they went for it.
Yeah.
I felt like,
Yep.
you know, hey, we're going to be playing 4-down football regardless. Let's make it really long
Yep.
for them. They come out here, sending pressure. This is close to being a pick six. Cam McHugh does a really good job of covering this concept here. The ball's a little bit behind the receiver. You know, if he can just corral this and bring this ball in, he probably scores here.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. There's no one out there.
Come out here, I think they end up punting to us. You know, we had worked this trip side here. You can see, you mentioned it earlier, they got all these backers kind of bumped up over here.
Yeah.
You see their safeties are both bossed over here.
With no wide receivers.
Leaves them nobody over here except for this end. They're Will in the corner. So we come out here, fake toss, run a little split zone with the quarterback.
Yeah.
And you can see there's just nobody
Nobody.
there after those guys flow back to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
A real good angle of it here. You see the toss kind of takes care of these linebackers. They go flowing the other way and really.
Good job by John Cleveland. Enough of a block and then go ahead and take your hands off. No point in, you know, I think unfortunately we've learned that the hard way some of this season, but you can see they're actually adjusting to it as we go.
That's right. We come out here, get into a 3rd and short, hand the ball to Jameer. You know, and he's a load.
Yeah.
Able to make a guy miss and then take off.
Yeah. I really think at this point they were about done. When you've been on the field most of the game and you're tired, winded, the last thing you want to see is 33 running at you. So
Sam come out here, run a little draw play with the quarterback. Really good run out of him.
give him credit. I don't know that I would have liked that play call if I were.
That's right. We got to do a better job up front here. We're trying to run a little twist in with the defensive line. We twist off here, and you'll see it better from the end zone shot. We end up twisting here, and we end up with a free hitter. We've got to do a better job here of staying inside hip to make this ball bounce out here and go to the sideline and go to your teammates. We overrun it. You see we miss there, and then, good job out of the quarterback, just being a tough football player, man.
That's right.
Come out here, first down after that. Try to throw a hitch. You can see here we're in really good position. I think DJ Thompson does a good job of playing it at first. But then he tugs on the receiver's jersey and pulls himself back into phase. That's
what they're going to see.
Going to get called all the time, man. You can't do that.
That jersey gets tugged, that flag's coming out.
So here they are, matriculating the ball down the field through some plays that they make, some penalties that we have. Come down here, I thought the defense did a really good job of stepping up here. Almost get the ball out of the quarterback's hands here. But great job out of Landon and Jameer and the other D lineman just kind of running him off his spot and getting home. See how tough these guys are to block.
Yep. Yeah, good job out of QB to hold on to it. Ball's knocked loose, and he's able to get it back.
Here about 2nd and 15. Ends up throwing the ball.
He actually has a guy open.
Yep. Well, we're in cover 2. We got to do a better job of jamming and syncing with this guy. We're just kind of sitting out here.
Yeah.
Ends up, you got pressure in your face, man. You're just trying to get it out
That's
of
right.
there.
That's right.
It's tough.
Can't throw the ball high with those two deep safeties. Just gives us a chance to work on a 2-minute offense.
Come out here, run a little zone read play, and stays outside behind it. Great job out of the offensive line. And another good run out of Caden Foxworth with really good vision. Right here, you see the O-line do a really good job. Shout out to Zion Holmes right here. Comes out here, helps out the center with a one-arm bench, works up. I mean, this is like textbook inside zone. I like to see him move his feet a little bit better there, as that guy starts to kind of work away from him. Once you get up to this guy, accelerate and kind of really start driving him. But hey man, this is really good football here.
So another nice run by Caden sets us up.
Come out here, run a little throwback screen to the Z receiver, and John Cleveland does a really good job with this. It's a play that's really hard to stop out of the defense. You basically got to make a choice of whether or not you're going to kick your coverage and stop some of our sprint out game, or are we gonna sit back here for the eventuality that they come back to the weak side of the defense here.
Yeah, safety definitely. Everybody goes that side. So that makes it 41-7. They're trying to salt it away, but we
stop come them. Out here. My thought process is at 42 points, the clock will run in the second half. I've got all 3 of my timeouts.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna burn some timeouts here. I called a timeout on first down. We actually jump off sides, puts them in the second and short.
Yep.
But then they come out here, they try to run a little draw play on second. You see the quarterback, he's not throwing this ball at all.
Yeah.
But a good job out of the defensive line, just kind of whooping these blocks in his face fast. He takes a loss. We call a timeout.
And I'm good with all that. I mean, anything goes in the first half, in my opinion, in a ball game, regardless of score. And you're working on something.
Yeah, it's the third round of the playoffs. These guys are a good football team. So if we can run the clock and get them out of here, not give them life and a chance to come back, we're going to do that. So, we're trying to we're playing football, man. Here it is, 3rd and 7. Run the quarterback off his spot. He starts to scramble. We do a good job of coming out of coverage once he passes the line of scrimmage, run him out of bounds. Actually,
he helps us, yeah. So we get the ball back. Clock's running.
Come out here. We got 1 timeout. You see 3rd and short. Throw the ball out here on the perimeter. Really, this is a run play called where we're just RPOing it and seeing what happens. Depending on the result, is going to dictate kind of how we go about the rest of the half here.
Yep.
You see they got their overhang that we're RPOing tucked up in here. Pretty, very simple read for Henry. Throw it out there on the perimeter. You see we block in the corner. The safety's got to come from an enormous amount of space. Good job out of Jonathan Mitchell making more out of this than what it probably should be there. But now we're thinking, hey man, we're right here.
Yep.
With a really good chance to score. We end up taking some negative plays here. You see it's 4th and forever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have a good option here. We do have a little design play that we're going to run here that we like against what they do on defense. You see here on 4th and forever, with 14 seconds left, you get a little different thing. When they line up and they move to this defense here that you see now where they kick everybody down, we all let out on the offensive staff, this is not good. This is a design where Henry's going to get this ball and then kind of roll back this way. I mean, they've got 2-3 guys that are going to come off the edge here. And so we're definitely nervous as this ball gets snapped. This guy probably takes one step wrong, which is able to give Henry this edge here and get out here. But once he breaks that, because they sold out on the rush, it just kind of leaves us here where we're able to take off running. We don't have any timeouts. I was hoping he would run out of bounds.
Yeah.
But he slips, gets down here. There's 3 seconds. Now, good thing high school football, on a first down, the clock will stop for the chains. And it's such a big game that it's going to take the chains a while to get down there. So we get down here. Now we're yelling, hey, we got to clock this ball. Because we know that it's going to start here. As soon as the chains are set, the offense does a good job of getting lined up, being ready to go. We clock it. You see up here, we got 0.4 on the clock. We come out here. We know we're going to get man-to-man. We call a man beater. And Malik Cowan, fantastic job coming back to the ball, making a really good catch here in the back of the corner.
One of the best catches of the year.
Yeah, great throw, great ball placement out of Henry, good protection up front, and, just really, really good catch out of Malik.
So that's going to end the half 47-7. Other than one play on defense that allows them to score, you got to be really happy with just about everything that happened in that first half.
Yep. We played really good football in the first half. In the third round of the playoffs, so you're playing a quality opponent.
That's right.
So your mindset as a coaching staff is, hey, let's go out, make sure that we're focused until this thing is completely out of reach and the clock is running. Let's not relax. We got to go out there and continue to play good football, and do everything that we can to set ourselves up to be playing on Thanksgiving week. And, we'll see how we do here after halftime.
So we'll take a quick break and come back for the second half highlights of Berkeley hosting Myrtle Beach.
The Blitz is on. Save thousands with Stokes Chevrolet Full Out Blitz. Stokes is blitzing prices during truck season and offering up to $10,500 off new Silverados with APR financing as low as 0%. Score big with EVs. Right now, lease a new Blazer or Equinox EV starting as low as $359 a month and 0 down. Go for the touchdown with 90-day payment deferral on new vehicles. It's the Full Out Blitz happening now only at Stokes Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Welcome back into the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Walford. The Stags leading Myrtle Beach 47-7 in the third round of the lower state playoffs. Coach, let's just go ahead and go to the second half highlights here as it gets even better for the Stags.
We come out here. This is first and 10. Right after their kickoff, they elected to receive in the first half. So we get the ball. Come out here. Run a little zone read play. This is a play that worked for us, throughout the night. You see really good physical run here out of LJ.
Yep.
Really didn't have as big of a role as he's had all season. But when his number was called, I think he did a really good job. Good job out of the O-line, kind of pushing him forward there after contact. We come out here, this is something that we had planned to do to them. We run some swinging gate stuff on our extra points.
Yep.
We don't run this exact formation, but this is just something that we kind of came up with to give them some issues. They do it. We thought, hey, let's test out their defense, see if they know how to line up to it too. So we come out here. When you kick the whole offensive line out here, if you do have rules, you would think your defensive line's going to go with the offensive line. So we get all those guys out here.
Who also who all is eligible for people that are watching? Who are your eligible receivers when you're lined up like this?
In football, you can be eligible by position or you can be eligible by number. All right, you have to be eligible by number. You have to be wearing a number 0 through 49 or 80 through 99.
Okay.
Right, and then also the end man that's on the line of scrimmage is eligible, unless he's wearing an ineligible number.
Okay.
Okay, so right here we've got a receiver to the top of the screen. That's pretty hard to see. He's kind of hidden by the offensive line. All these guys in the backfield are eligible receivers. They're all wearing eligible numbers. And this is actually our tight end, who's a long snapper. He's wearing an eligible number, so he's actually eligible to catch a pass.
So you have 5 eligible receivers then in this formation.
Right. Every play, the offense can never have more than 5 eligible receivers. And we come out here, we run a little outside zone with the quarterback, reach block out of Bryson Heath. He does a really good job. You'll see as we roll the clip later on. Out here, and then we got. We just got half to the party, and you see they don't have enough out here.
And the corner's got to go with.
That's right. The corner's got to block the receiver or cover the receiver or block them. We just run him out of the concept, and then we just got guys out here kind of leading the convoy. I'd like to see us do a little bit better job on this guy right here, but we get enough of them to kind of get the edge. Then we get up on the second level defender. You see Henry runs by him, and then there's just one guy to make miss. Really good job on the cutback there. Really good way to start the second half. Our plan all week was to do this in the second half to give them not a chance to talk about it at halftime. With not knowing how close the game will be, you don't know when you got to pull some some tricks out. But
that's right.
We figured, hey, we've practiced this all week. This has been our plan, so let's just go ahead and do it. We're able to capitalize.
So that touchdown will put us up 54-7, and the magic number's been hit, and the clock is running at this point.
See the defense out here continuing to play well.
Another good sack. Well, I guess he got it away. Another good hit on the quarterback.
Honestly, I'm not quite sure, what happened there to extend that drive. But they get the ball down here, first down.
Go to another funky formation.
You see Landon Jackson does a good job of defeating this block. This has been their short yardage, our goal line offense that they've gotten into. They've had really good success doing this to teams, throughout the year. When they're in their spread, they don't seem to be that physical, but then they get in this, and then they're a really physical football team.
So here they are on a 4th and long.
Again, kind of coming back to if there's anything to be, a little bit disappointed about, 4th and 12. We're giving up easy touchdowns here. We got to do a better job.
Now that score technically gets you back in within the 42. Did y'all have an agreement that the clock was just going to run once it started running?
So from what I understand, that's a rule that as long as it goes to 42, it's going to stay running. I don't think that's the case. Yeah. I've never heard the other way.
I don't think that's the case, but I think these referees probably wanted to go, and I don't think Coach Wilson was going to put up much of an argument.
Yeah, so. I've never heard of it the other way around. But hey, That's a good question.
Yep.
We come out here, we start to move the ball down the field. Got Keller Wofford in at quarterback now. He's doing a really good job of commanding the offense here. Come out here, take a nice little easy hitch to Malik Cowan. Able to get good.
He just catches the ball. He doesn't care who's throwing it to him. He's
out here, 1st and 10.
Now I thought this was going to be bad.
Pretty dangerous.
But you've talked all coaches. This is game 12. There's been several times this year you've complained about your receivers not coming back to the football. I think this would have been an easy play to not come back to the football, but Malik saves this play here, I think, and
does a really good job. This is a formation that we knew that they didn't line up too great. We got 3 receivers out here. They've got all these backers tucked up in the box here. They just don't have enough guys. Here we got to do a better job. We can't run by this guy. We talked about this in practice. We need to put 2 on this guy and then make these guys come and tackle it from depth. This is something that we talked about. And that's where this play really ends up almost going wrong here, is we just run by him. And as this ball's in the air, you could see my vantage point right here. I'm looking at this kid and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But Malik does a good job of working back to the ball, and he catches this. And now, once he makes his catch, just really good run after the catch, making guys miss, and is able to get in the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah, really good job. Really good individual effort on his part. So now it's back to 61-13.
You see how fast the quarter's rolling away here. It's really good job on the defense. That's King Dargan there. Young sophomore defensive lineman's going to have a really good future here for the Stags coming up.
Yep. When the clock doesn't stop for incompletions or anything,
it goes a lot faster.
It goes fast. Change of possession, nothing. It just rolled.
And then the officials actually came to me in the start of the 4th quarter or the end of the 3rd and asked to reduce the 4th quarter clock to 10 minutes instead of 12, which, that was fine with me. You see they're out there trying to throw a hitch. Good job out of DJ Thompson kind of driving this route back. Here we are on offense, kind of stalled down a little bit. A little concept over here. I think Keller saw that and felt like he had this boundary, which he's not wrong. I'd like to see him work the concept a little bit more. We're trying to throw the ball here into the flat, and or if this linebacker is sitting in the flat, high-low this guy. We think he dropped. I'd like to see us just kind of complete this ball and let us run up here to the sideline. But hey, if you think that you see something, you go quick. Take it.
Yeah.
Pretty good throw there.
Crowd certainly wanted some help. I don't know if it
there 61-13.
Yeah. I don't think you've seen any yellow flags unless it's really egregious at that point.
Good job out of Taquan Wheeler here. Another one of these young defensive linemen that doesn't get as much playing time, but he's got a really good motor.
Yep.
If he can start to put things together mentally, he's going to be a guy who'll be a really good player next year for us.
Certainly seem to have a lot of guys that like to rush the passer. And know how to do it.
Yes, sir.
So
Get the ball back, minute 23. Ahmad starts with a good little run to put the game on ice. It was just good to see these guys that
That's right.
maybe don't get as much of a chance to get out here. Good job out of the offensive line, blocking everybody up, coming through here.
And I think that may be the one.
On a hat.
That's probably the con that the winning or that both teams could have against the running clock is you've got kids that are dressed out that haven't had this opportunity, and you're going to need those guys next year. So you'd like to be able to get them as many opportunities in a game like this as you can. And not that we want to run it up and score 80 points on anybody, but it's just about getting reps for kids in these situations so it's not new to them next year.
Exactly. To get younger guys reps in the third round of the playoffs and against a really good quality opponent is invaluable. And honestly, these guys, they practice all week, and they put in just as much of hard work as anybody, and they deserve it. And just being able to reward them for their hard work is something that I'm happy to do every chance we get.
Sounds like what Steve Spurrier used to say when they asked him about throwing the ball late in the game up big. And he's, my backups practice hard all week too. They ought to get the opportunity to run the whole offense when they get out there. So 61-13 win. I think there's two guys that really stood out for player of the game. I don't know. I've got mine, but we'll see if they're the same or not.
Yeah, like you said, to me, the two guys that stand out really big time for us. And I'll drop a third name in there, but Henry Rivers at quarterback, he threw for over 200, ran for over 100. Malik Callan, huge game out of him. For him to step up there at receiver is something that is great to see and is much needed.
Yep.
And then Cam McHugh, pick on defense, the punt return to start the game. Just really to start the game off with that kind of momentum, really sent a message to the other team quick. So all three of those guys, to me, are player of the game.
And Aiden President with a big game for you as well. Not a guy we've talked as much about, just kind of been overshadowed by some of these other guys, but had a big game for you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he earlier in the show, he 2 games back to back. He's starting to make more and more plays, playing with more and more confidence. It's been hard for teams to deal with 2 or 3 of us, and now there's 4 or 5 guys coming at you that we can roll in there that are playing at a really high level on that D line. So really great to see Aiden start to put it together.
So I feel like last spring, over the summer, we kind of knew if we wanted to get where we wanted to get, we were going to run into Irmo at some point. Now it's Thanksgiving. We're going to practice on Turkey Day, which is always the goal around here. There's 4 teams left. We're going to play at Irmo Friday night.
Yeah, excited for the opportunity. They're very, very talented, really well coached. Coach Brand does a great job over there with those guys, and you got really good athletes and you put them in good position, you end up with a really tough, good football team. I think that we have the same sort of things going on here, and I look forward to the challenge. If we can go out there, execute, and play our brand of football and the things that have made us successful all year, if we can put it together in all 3 phases like we did the other night, I think that we can compete with anybody.
So Stags on the road Friday night at Irmo for the Lower State Championship. So come out and support us as we go on the road. Just a couple hours down the road. Everybody's off Friday, so come support the Stags. Until next week, thank you for tuning in to the Berkeley Football Coaches Show along with Coach Eric Lodge. I am Lane Wofford.
Go Stags.